Hi, this is Mary Jo McCauley again, angelstalk.com, and I'm going to introduce you to some very good friends of mine. I call them the Clair sisters. Haha, the Clair sisters. This is clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and claircognizance. What is this? Clairvoyance is probably the one that you have heard the most about. That's being able to see things clairvoyantly. And clairvoyance has actually, for many people, taken over the overall ability to use all of them. But clairvoyance is being able to see the past, the present, and the future. And getting information from the other side, from the angels, clairvoyantly, means that you see things. Okay, you see things, or they will give you pictures to describe things. Then you have clairaudience, sister to clairvoyance. That's when you hear. And you can get information not just by hearing voices, once you trust them, but you will hear things. Sometimes your answers to your questions can come by hearing a conversation from somebody. You happen to be just behind somebody in a line, a grocery store line, and you hear what they're talking about, and it happens to be just the answer that you needed to your own question. Or maybe you flip on the radio, and the exact few words that come out, either by the announcer or the song, is the answer to the question. Then you're more clairaudient. You hear a lot of your answers. Then there's clairsentience. That's when you feel things. Somebody that's very much of an empath, that really feels things very, very deeply, is somebody that gets things clairsentiently. They feel stuff. If you sometimes feel somebody else's, like you can say, I can feel your pain. If you use the word, I feel this, you're probably predominantly clairsentient. And then there's claircognizance. Now, that sister is known probably the least, because there's very few people that have that as the predominant clair. And I got to say this, not always true, but it tends to be many men are claircognizant. That's when you just know. You just know the answer. You can ask a guy, how did you do that? I don't know, I just know. If you just know something, that is being claircognizant. They're all amazing. The one, everybody has one that is predominant. When I first started, my predominant Clair sister was clairsentience. I felt everything. When I would give a reading, I could feel, when we talk about somebody's childhood, I could feel what they were feeling as a child. You have to learn how to control that, Clair, because you don't want to have those feelings make you sick. And sometimes I would go into, this is a long time ago, but I would feel something so deeply, I would actually start crying during a reading. Not very helpful. I don't do that anymore. But clairsentience tends to be one of the more predominant of the clairs. But how do you know which is your best one? Because the angels will always try to get through to you, get the answers to you in whatever way is easiest for you. So how do you know which one is my Clair? Okay, I want you to pull out a piece of paper and a pen right now if you don't have one out. And if you don't have one out, just stop this for a second and come back with a pen and a piece of paper. And I got basic questions that I'm going to ask you. Okay. The first one I want you to describe a memorable vacation. Any vacation, doesn't matter, just describe it. And take the time to do that. Okay. I'm going to, again, if you need some time, just stop this video just for a second and come back. The next question is, describe all of the people that you met at your last gathering. It could have been a party, it could have been just a group, it could have been, but describe all of the people. That's question number 2. The final question, and it's, tell me about a movie that you loved. Describe that to me. When you are finished answering all 3 of these questions, a memorable vacation, the last gathering that you were at, and a movie that you love, look at the words. See what you said. Did you say I saw this. Did you describe the scene? Or was it about how it made you feel? Or was it sounds, everything that was going on in the movie? They had great sounds. It was great, whatever. Find out what your primary Clair is. We all have different Clairs, but we all have one that's the strongest. You can use that first to help increase your own ability to make contact. Eventually, you can do work that will help you, a play that'll help you develop all of them more. But find out what your first predominant Clair is. And that way you can work on that one to really start making contact and getting information for yourself. Okay, so that's the basic stuff with the Clairs. Now I want to let you know a couple of other things. Okay, there are basic things that can block clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, and that's just for everybody. So if you said I never get anything, I keep trying, I never get anything. One of the very first things is people are afraid of losing control. We like to be in control. So losing control can always be a big block to getting your clairvoyance. Somebody else is going to say, oh, I'm afraid I'm going to see spooky stuff, and I don't want to see any spooky stuff. Okay, again, if you're afraid to see spooky stuff, you're not going to. That fear is going to keep you from doing it. You have to if you ever fear that, just always call in the angels, call in Michael to guard you, and you don't have to worry. But being afraid of seeing spooky stuff, being fooled, they're going to make a fool of me, and I'm just going to, it's not really real, and I'm going to be fooled, and I'm going to be like a little kid, and everyone's going to make fun of me. If you have that fear, that will keep you from developing any of your Clairs. The fourth thing, and many people get this, and you will possibly start off with it as childhood teaching, that this is a lie. This is all a lie. Everything you're getting is a lie. You can't trust it. It's a lie. And getting through that one, if you have that as a block to your own ability to develop your Clairs, your friendship with the Clairs, you have the option to let that go. But that can block you. And I got to tell you, one of my tough ones at the beginning was the next block, and that's being called weird. And I'll tell you what, there will be some people that will call you weird. But what they think of you is none of your business. Did you get that? None of their business. What they think of you is none of your business. Some people are just going to call you weird. Let them go. But I'll tell you what, you're going to also be surprised at the people that don't call you weird, that understand it. And the next big block is, and we all go through this, and I have a mentor that has been doing this for he's been doing this close to 50 years, 45 years anyway, professionally. And he still goes through this on occasion. We go through it less and less, but we are afraid sometimes, am I an unqualified imposter? Am I just making all this up in my head? But then when you get confirmation after confirmation after confirmation, you know that everything is okay. But I think it's kind of good to have that one to make sure that you keep yourself in check and that you stay in integrity with this. Don't lose your integrity and just make everything all right. Okay? And the final block, and it's the number one block for everybody, is when you try too hard. When you're trying to make it happen, you're not allowing. When you're trying, you're using your brain. And when you use your brain, you're not using your intuition. So don't try, just trust. Okay? Allow, receive. And to allow and receive, you have to put believe in there. Allow, believe, and then receive. So those are the basic blocks to clairvoyance. So if you really want to increase your friendship with the Clair sisters, step one is you need to release those fears to seeing the future. You need to let them go. That's the reason children There's the most qualified reports of actual clairvoyance are children, because they don't care. They don't turn it off. So release your fears. That's number one. Number two is figure out how to formulate your questions that you have, that you want the answers to, in a specific way. In other words, if you say something like, am I going to meet someone at the dance tonight? Yeah, you're going to meet lots of people at the dance tonight. But if you say, am I going to meet somebody that's going to be of a significant relationship for me at the dance tonight? That's a whole, you can get as specific as you want. So be careful how you formulate your questions. Also, when you are making contact with the angels and you want really clear divine guidance, concentrate on your third eye. Concentrate on opening and allowing that to be open so that you can get the information. Just breathe in, get quiet. You may actually see your third eye open. See it picture as an eye and the lid opening. And know that you are safe with that because it's divinely guided, because you have called in the angels to make your connection. The fourth step is I want you to notice when you get quiet and you've opened your third eye and you've let go of your fears and everything. Notice any pictures that come into your mind. Don't just dismiss them. You might even want to have a paper there to write down the pictures. What is the picture that's coming into your mind? Write it down. There's messages to have in that picture. And when you see that picture, play director. Increase the brightness and the clarity. Just say, okay, that's a great picture. Let me see every little detail of it. Or if you're hearing something, let me hear all of the background. Let me hear everything that's going on. There'll be information there. Then when you ask for all that clarity, you can ask for interpretation. Ask the angels for the interpretation and the clarification on this. I don't get what this means. Can you give me some input? Write down whatever you get. Get the input. And the most important one is to trust. Again, I'm going back to that. It is the most difficult for most of us. I came from a very brainiac family where everybody is in science, and only value is something that you can quantify. And all that we're doing here, none of this can be quantified. It's all intuitive. You have to trust. And to let go of the fears will help you to trust. And once you do start trusting, you're going to be amazed at how all of the Clair sisters all come together around for you and help work to make your life better and easier. And to call them in, always the first thing you do is call in the angels to be around you and surround you, to make sure you're getting nothing but divine guidance. Okay? That's the basics on the Clair sisters. I hope you enjoyed meeting them. Please keep visiting them. The more you visit them, the better you get. And the more they'll come and visit you. So that's it for the clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience, and claircognizance. And I wish you abundant blessings as you keep playing with this and you get better and better. Thanks. That's all. Mary Jo saying bye. Visit angelstalk.com. Bye.